How can I tell my son that this officer is here to protect him, when in reality the system works tirelessly to rape, oppress, and neglect him? How can I hold my child close and tell her I will never leave, when in my next breath I could be crying out, I can't breathe?
The Center for Teen Empowerment has faced challenges in the past with funding. Now they're working to resolve an issue that could have a noticeable effect on the organization and a possible negative effect on the community.
One of the things we're dealing with right now is the budget cuts in the state budget because of Charlie Baker and kind of what he vetoed. So yeah, there's always change and there's always different things. The thing is that's great about the organization though is that we have a lot of longevity. All the executive director and all the program directors, there's almost 100 years of experience between 4 of us. So there's a lot of longevity. It kind of keeps us really afloat in the game.
We started off very small, at least when I was around, with 2 staff members and about 10 kids. Now we have about 9 staff members here in Somerville and about 12 in my program and roughly 10 in each. So it's really taken flight, really gotten into different aspects of Somerville and really empowered youth to kind of have more voice instead of just in this building and a lot of the city buildings.
Legislators have gone into session, but when they return in the fall, they have the opportunity to override the governor's proposed cuts. If overridden, the governor can still use his 9C power to cut the budget, a decision that would deal a huge blow to teen empowerment.
That's exactly what we lose. If the veto goes in place, we lose money, and that's jobs for young people. That's opportunities. We're fortunate enough that the city government in Somerville is extremely supportive of us. The mayor in particular, he in the Board of Aldermen, they really show us a lot of support. They show us a lot of love, like just love in general, to making sure that the kids in the organization, in the community are actually knowing that they're being looked after. But $100,000 that's a lot of money. And that's between Somerville and Boston. So that means instead of hiring 10 kids, maybe I can hire 8, or maybe 12, I hire 9. That means less, so I'd like to pay our staff a decent salary. We live in a city where it's more expensive than anywhere else in the country, and we work for nonprofits.
The nonprofit has been around for over 25 years, employing youth and helping them deal with any challenges they may face at home, school, or personally. The results of the organization's work seem positive and effective.
It's definitely connected me with my community on a level that I had trouble with before, both on the sense of kind of as a youth connecting to adults, but also just as a youth connecting to police officers and elderly folks and other organizations that don't really interact with youth as much.
I've seen the youth grow very, very much. You look at youth that have had a lot of problems with either it be bullying or racism or different discriminations, and then they come into the program and it is something like, okay, I'm going to talk about this experience that happened to me, and we always tell our youth, you being able to write about it and then perform it and speak about it is something that people might spend their whole lives not being able to do. So being able to see youth evolve from thinking they have no voice and no hope, and having all this voice and all this power, not only for their community, but also for themselves, it's beautiful.
I think this organization is important to the public and the Somerville community in particular because we save lives. The bottom line is we actually do save lives. When you're giving people opportunities to use their voice, to speak their mind, to be heard by people in power, you actually are empowering them. So the name's very fitting that we're Teen Empowerment, because we give people the ability to be empowered, to be connected to the people in power, whether it's the police chief, the mayor, the local officials, the school committee, whoever it may be. That matters. We've seen a 50% decrease in youth crime here in the city because youth are involved. They're getting their voice heard, and that matters. So if you lose that money, there's a lot of young people who are going to miss out.
Please spread the word. I know when I was a youth, I had trouble getting my friends around. But when they really did come around eventually, they thanked me for it, and I thanked my friends. So I hope that people just come around and give it a shot. You know, it's not for everybody, but it's worth a shot.
The nonprofit hopes to continue running their organization with a full staff as they work to help kids and the community. For SNN, I'm Temi Adelaide.